I'm using what I have from previous builds. These are two spare Volkswagen Combi Bus IRS rear suspension stub axles. I'll use those. Now I'll use the stub axle, flange and bearings and make up a new upright, because these original Volkswagen cast units weigh kilos and kilos. The advantage of the Combi unit is that it uses bolt-on 100mm CVs, which means that they're bolt-in 100mm low-bros. That allows me to have bolt-in axles at both sides and use relatively cheap units from Volkswagen suppliers. The way I'll carve out the pieces I want is to come at it from the reverse side and cut out round that circle there. I think at this stage the easiest way to do that, although it's a bit of a pain, is to drill multiple holes all the way around until I can either take it out with a cold chisel or I can get a hacksaw in and hacksaw out the parts. Now to begin the drilling procedure. This is going to be quite noisy. From the cast nature of this part, the curly shavings and the way that it forms a dimple when you punch it, I would say this VW part is made from ductile iron. It actually drills quite easily. After a lot of drilling and hacking, the two pieces are separated. The piece that I'll use weighs about 2.4 kilograms. It's plenty strong, as you can see by the amount of gusseting and thickness of the metal, and will probably stand losing another couple of 100 grams in the process of cleaning up around this area, so that I've got a nice face here that I can bring the upright against. This is the setup to clean the hubs up. The idea is to take down the outside diameter and casting until I get a smooth cylindrical surface that can be inserted into an alloy carrier. The casting itself is extremely rough and very difficult to center in the lathe. Actually, it doesn't have to be perfectly concentric. In order to center it and prop one end, I've cunningly used the Jacob's chuck, which is pressing into a taper bearing that was already part of the hub. This helps it run true and helps me center it. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly concentric. Here's the machine down result. I've saved you all of that dinky dink on the lathe. It's cut down now and weighs 1.85 kilograms. And you can see now how the suspension parts will mount to these flanges, and then as a whole it will insert into a carrier. In addition, I machined down the Volkswagen Combi drive flanges from these monsters, which weigh 2.5 or 2.4 kilograms and are designed to carry the weight of a fully loaded Volkswagen Combi, to a smaller version. This involved cutting and machining off the material around the outside, and also taking it down slightly in size to fit inside the wheels. These are mini 10-inch wheels. Also taking some material off the back where there were very heavy supporting flanges cast into the Volkswagen part. The PCD is wrong and will have to be changed. The Volkswagen has 5 by 112. The Mini has 4 by 4 inches. This hole here had to be filled because no matter how you do it, the PCD of the Mini interferes with the PCD of the Volkswagen. I did this by driving in a tapered piece of metal, a tapered shaft. That's driven in there very firmly. I'll cut it off through the back and pin it over. Then when I drill in the PCD, while it will eat into that hole, that filled hole, it should be plenty strong. So that's where we're at. I'll leave this video at a halt at this point. Voila!